This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, good morning to you. It's First Alert Weather Breakdown time. It's 10:30 on your Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you very much for joining here for the day today. There we go, getting a super down there. Hope you're having a fantastic day out so far. It is another beautiful day with lots of sunshine, blue skies. Temperatures also a little more comfortable, especially for January standards. It's impressive to get the temperatures out for today above 55 degrees. That's right, we got highs into the upper 50s. I would not be surprised to see maybe a few lower 60s even in store for this afternoon. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic Wednesday here for us in the ArkLaTex. Overall, a great work week, full of amazing weather. Our next rain chance is going to be Friday night, basically as soon as we head into the weekend. The rain chance doesn't look to be that great, though. It's not going to hinder too much of your weekend, I don't think. In fact, I think you can get around, honestly, just fine. And for your Friday night, it's going to be light rain at this time. We'll get more details on that in just a little bit, but yeah, we had quite a good Wednesday, and overall, I know there's a lot of hype behind. Obviously, those of you who got the notification, clicked on it on your phone, and were like, "But Evan, I know you're talking about the snow potentially coming in the Arctic air, definitely coming into the ArkLaTex." Yes, I will be talking about that. But let me remind you, stop and smell the roses. Enjoy the calm weather. Heck, I'm enjoying the calm weather. It's less for me to talk about. I know. Trust me, I'm going to be talking all about the winter situation coming on up here later on in this podcast. We're going to be having so many details on that coming on through. But the point is, just make the most of when the temperatures are outside, especially while the conditions are as nice as they are outside, honestly, right now. It's continuing to, again, remain that way, at least for the rest of the work week. Even the weekend looks pretty good. Moving on through, at least condition-wise. Temperatures are going to be changing, though. We'll, again, talk about that all coming up. All right, let me give you the full rundown here of what we've got on the table here for today. We've got a warmer forecast overall over the next few days, but the main things we're talking, our exclusive content here for the day, is just going to be basically going into more in depth about that Arctic cold air that's coming back into the ArkLaTex. We're going to be taking more of a full look at that, and we'll be also looking at, yes, a chance of ArkLaTex snow coming into next week. So we're going to go full in depth. I know with exclusive content here on First Alert Weather Breakdown, we usually go, I guess, more into, I don't know, just Met Chat. We go into TikToks with CJ. On Monday, we discuss different types of wintry precipitation. We go into science topics. We interview people. We actually have an interview coming up later this week, by the way. But we decided just today, let's take a step back. And I know everybody's starting to get themselves hyped up for A, the snow, and B, the cold weather, the really cold weather heading back into the ArkLaTex here, heading into next week. So let's dive all into that. That's going to be our exclusive content for the day. So we kind of divided our full forecast, because our full forecast is kind of included in the exclusive content, so to speak. We divided our forecast here into just two different parts. Part one will be for a commercial break, and then part two will get into more of those snowy and Arctic cold chances after a commercial break. But there's still some things happening, again, before that Arctic cold rush pushes into the ArkLaTex that we do need to discuss. So let's hop into that, shall we? All right, beautiful lookout on the Matthews landscape, best camera, plenty of sunshine and blue skies. I'm getting everything else situated behind the scenes in my one-man band here in the First Alert with a breakdown. So there we go. As we get a live look again, beautiful sunshine, blue skies. We actually did have a few rain showers actually out in the southern edge of the ArkLaTex. They were mainly just hanging off to the southern end of Nacogdoches in East Texas earlier today. Those really just moved west to east and barely stayed out of the region of the ArkLaTex. So that really wasn't even a worry this morning at all. But for those of you traveling down to southeast Texas, Houston's getting filled in with a good amount of rain showers around this morning as we just have a little influx of moisture off the Gulf of Mexico, but it's only reaching as far north, again, as pretty much the Houston metro area here for the most part. So that leaves us, again, nice and dry. We're protecting at our high-pressure system. here locally, which has been nice for us here in the ArkLaTex. All right, so now, next graphic. Let's go into the temperatures. 46 right now in Shreveport, 46 also in Texarkana, already up to 50 for Mansfield at just past 10:30 a.m., 49 in Natchitoches. The fact that we're already reaching about 50 degrees is honestly impressive. We've got a little cloud cover into some of our southern areas around the ArkLaTex, also in Texarkana too. Natchitoches also filled in with a good amount of cloud cover as well, but we're still seeing, again, plenty of peaks of sunshine in throughout the day today and also tomorrow. That's going to help us warm up for the rest of this work week. Really, the peak of our warming trend is probably going to be somewhere between Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow, we're still looking for one more additional warm-up in the temperature here, at least heading into Thursday. We'll talk exactly how warm we're going to get coming up in just a little bit. On top of that, we have that Arctic cold blast again on the way that we'll be talking about later. But highs for today, stretching up to almost 60 degrees. So increasing the temperatures from now to the afternoon, still by another 10 to 15 degrees. 59 in Texarkana, 59 in Stamps, 56 for Nashville and East Texas, 59 in Marshall, 59 in Carthage, 59 also in Nacogdoches, 58 for Shreveport, 59 in Ringgold, 60 in Coshada. All right, here's a look at the future track. So this will mainly track on to what's happening before that Arctic cold air comes on in. And we have a round of moisture, again, that's mainly hitting around Houston here this morning, but not reaching farther than that. Again, we have some cloud cover that's developing in areas mainly south of here, while a high pressure keeps us nice and dry throughout the bulk of the ArkLaTex, especially the northern half. Then we get into Thursday, just a few more passing clouds, but still no rain to worry about until Friday. If you see the cold front, you can see it, first of all, around Oklahoma by Friday night. But if you notice, the wave of moisture is way out in front of this actual cold front. That cold front kind of tracks onto the Arctic cold air that we're going to talk about later, especially with the numbers and everything. But the point is that's going to hold off to our north and west. But we have a round of moisture to get through first that appears like it's forming, like it's actively forming in the ArkLaTex on Friday. Also, look at the time. Friday night at 9 p.m. I will say there's other weather models suggesting that the rain actually forms directly in the ArkLaTex, like around Shreveport, around the Texas-Louisiana border. It forms there and then pushes eastward. This model has it forming in portions of northwest Louisiana around Natchitoches and Ruston, and then pushing eastward, so to speak. The point is, we have greater rain chances out in northwest Louisiana from the system because this round of moisture basically forms on top of the ArkLaTex and then pushes eastward. The question is, where does it form around the ArkLaTex? Now, what I will say is, anything from the system, especially because we're getting baby storms that are essentially just starting to form, most of the rain that we're expecting should not be severe in the slightest. I'm expecting light to moderate rainfall from the system, again, between Friday night and early Saturday morning. So this should not honestly impact your day on Friday. It shouldn't even impact your day on Saturday, just kind of hanging around somewhere in between the 2 days, even if it does rain for that matter. Overall, we're not too concerned about that system moving on through. Yes, it is a chance of rain. That's why we wanted to keep you first alert, but it's nothing severe here at this point. Then Saturday, we hang in with a mostly dry day, and we hang in with warmer temperatures at least for one more day. As for your travel forecast on that Friday, I just wanted to put this up there because this shows you that we have, again, slightly greater rain chances out towards Natchitoches with that system, mainly on Friday night. And we have only isolated chances of some storms in Shreveport, especially only a 20% chance of a shower into Texarkana with that system. Notice the highs still in the lower 60s. 56 into Saturday before Sunday starts our big cool down. I don't even know why I'm saying it's cool down. It's a cold down. It's an Arctic blast and burst into here. It's going to really make a difference between our 2 days of the weekend, between Saturday and Sunday. High, yes, on Sunday is only 39 degrees. We're going to talk so much more on this, how it happens, what the morning lows are, what we're expecting in chance of maybe snow eventually from this system. We're going to talk on that in our exclusive content segment, which is after one commercial break. We'll be right back to finish this full forecast right after this. All right, welcome back to KSLA News 12. Again, I'm first meteorologist Evan Thompson. We're hopping straight back into the full forecast here because this kind of goes over exclusive content and what everybody's hyping up about. For good reason, though. Arctic cold air blast coming back into the ArkLaTex. It's round 2, essentially. And eventually, yes, that potentially means, let me stress on the word potential, a potential chance of snowfall for round 2. We'll get into the details on that as well coming up. But that's separate from this. I will say, if snow does happen, we're not expecting it to happen and coincide with the same time that the temperatures go from being warm to Arctic cold. I hope that makes sense. So, again, Saturday night and Sunday morning, that's when we're looking for the transition between the warm temperatures of Saturday afternoon to the bitter cold Sunday afternoon. It's gonna be a total change between the 2 days of the weekend. So if you're looking to get things done outside and maybe want to get it done in more comfortable temperatures, you want to choose Saturday for that to happen before this cold weather maker comes on in heading into the day on Sunday. So here's what we're saying first alert about and weather aware about here heading into the ArkLaTex here for your Sunday. It's going to be big cold air rushing on, big rush of cold air mass coming on through here into the ArkLaTex. That's dropping our highs and our afternoon highs and morning low temperatures, both well below the average. Again, I want to emphasize that last point that not much precipitation is expected at the time of this cold blast coming through, which is for the weekend. We're not worrying about any chance of snow at all this weekend. We'll get into the timing on that in just a little bit if we do see the snow. But I first wanted to go over the exact temperatures that we will see with this. This is your last warm afternoon. It's going to look to be Saturday afternoon with high temperatures still reaching above 50 degrees. I know that for some of you that's still not really warm per se, but it's certainly going to be warm compared to the temperatures I'm about to show you for the future feels like temperatures. Once we head into Saturday night and into Sunday morning, we have feels like lows into the lower 20s and teens. Just so you know, what we've been settling on and waking up to this morning, or the past couple of mornings, have been temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s. So, and that was yesterday. This morning was more like the low to mid 30s. So still cold, but nothing cold like this again, especially where it gets cold and windy, pushing those feels like temperatures really into the teens. Again, that starts as soon as we get into Sunday morning, and then by Sunday afternoon, feels like temperatures not even reaching 50, not even reaching 40, and most of us not even reaching 35. It's going to be bitter cold for Sunday afternoon. Again, a complete 360 from what we're expecting to feel out the door here for your Saturday, so to speak. And then we get into Monday morning, and it's the same lows once again before heading into Monday afternoon, hanging on that same roller coaster ride of getting back down into the teens for feels like temperatures in the morning and going only up into temperatures feeling like in the lower 30s and for the next consecutive days. Overall, this air mass pretty much stays in place starting on Sunday morning. It continues with us at least through Monday, at least through Tuesday, and as of right now, I'm not seeing us warm up until Thursday or Friday of next week, somewhere around that time frame. So we're looking to hang around with bitter cold temperatures at least for a solid 4 to 5 days, including MLK Day on Monday as well. Now, there's one last thing to talk about. Obviously, that's all the numbers with the cold temperatures. Now, let's bring up the snow. So, to review, again, for the next day or two, we're nice and dry. For Friday, we have that slight rain chance coming on through. Again, that mainly happens on Friday night. If you notice with this weather model, before we get into the snow potential, with this weather model, it shows the snow mainly, it shows the rain mainly forming on the East Texas, Louisiana, West Louisiana border, and then moving into areas around Natchitoches and developing and getting a little more rainfall in areas such as Natchitoches and Ruston. Just want to share that with you one more time and for your Friday. And then one last mention to this, there's the back half of the system with the actual cold air coming through that could give us just the slimmest chances of, yes, mixed precip. If you look by Idabel and DeQueen, that could happen late Saturday heading into Sunday. The reason we haven't emphasized that very much is because it only affects Idabel and DeQueen. Then it just fizzles out and doesn't really hit the rest of the ArkLaTex. But then Yes, you get into what we're looking at here for next week. Again, as I said, Arctic cold to air stays in place at least through Thursday and Friday of next week. Not this coming week. This coming Thursday, Friday is warm. Anyways, the point is, Arctic air stays trapped in through Tuesday of next week, and between Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. That's what I'm looking for timing-wise with the system coming through between Tuesday early morning to Wednesday early morning. Essentially, once the first day of the work week next week, right after MLK Day on Monday, that's when we could look at the possibility of snow showers in the ArkLaTex. Now, look at this model. This shows a lot because we have the potential of ice south of the ArkLaTex. We have snow showers potentially for Natchitoches, and also keep in mind, this is the extent of the snow coverage of what we could see only in the ArkLaTex. There might be some areas such as Texarkana and DeQueen that don't actually see snow with this system. Now, keep in mind, this is one future track of many. Number one. Number two, this is still 6 to 7 days out, which means this is going to change around a lot with the timing, with the suggestions of where it snows. But as of right now, I will say, and I've noticed with this with other systems, there are greater chances of snow for the southern portion of the ArkLaTex compared to the northern portion. Basically the opposite of what we had with our last winter system coming on through. That's right, we have chances of ice as well extending down into Baton Rouge and the north shore of New Orleans. So this is going to be an impressive winter storm coming on through that could affect many of us from Alexandria up to Shreveport, including a good amount of East Texas from Longview over to Nacogdoches as well. And at this point, the snow chances don't look as likely for Texarkana and DeQueen, but that could change, again, with every passing day until we get more confidence in this system. Now, just to let you know, for the last winter storm, this is the last point I want to make. The last winter storm that went on through, we declared first alert weather days 3 to 4 days in advance because at that point we were confident that some amount of snow was going to hit us in the region again. It's still 6 to 7 days away. This is next Tuesday. So yes, you can get already hyped about the possibility of snow coming back into the ArkLaTex. Yes, you can go ahead and maybe prep yourself up for it in some certain manner. But I would say don't make this a certainty. It was just yesterday when this wasn't even showing up on weather models yet at all. So come time when I walk into work here tomorrow, I would not even be surprised to even see this gone, honestly. Because now, yes, into today with today's weather models, we're trending towards now getting snow coverage back into the ArkLaTex next Tuesday, but it could change tomorrow. The point is, just stay first alert. Don't overhype anything, okay? But obviously we'll keep you first alert, and I think we'll get the best detail of when this will when this can exactly hit, if it does exactly hit, and a little more of a basis of timing of things. I think by Friday. I personally, that's my goal, is to get the best idea of what to make of the system by Friday, so that Monday I'm walking in and I can just prep you on the very specific details. So by Friday, I can tell you, okay, it's going to snow, or no, it's not going to snow, or it's more likely in this area to that area, and maybe get a little more idea of timing. And then I walk in Monday morning, and I give you more specific about how much snow we could get, the exact hours of timing down, those kind of exact details that you only get like 24 to 48 hours, like heads up on, so to speak. All right. So I think I went over everything with that. And then by Tuesday afternoon, this weather model suggests that most of the snow will be done while the ice continues into areas south of here. Yeah, ice south of here. That's kind of wild to say, honestly. Here's a peek at that 7-day forecast now. Alrighty. So 58 here today. Again, we're warming up to 64 on Thursday. Slightly cooling down into the beginning of the weekend, 56. And that biggest temperature drop is between, again, Saturday heading into Sunday. For highs, overall settle in the lower 30s. As for our two systems coming on through, giving us precipitation, there's one. Don't forget about the first one. That comes through, again, Friday night, giving us a slight chance of rain then. I'm still not expecting any severe weather from it, nor do I expect to be too concerned about it, even traveling on, roadways or things like that. But it's still something to look out for regardless, especially if you have any outdoor plans on Friday night. And then Saturday into Sunday, it looks beautiful. Just got to, again, watch out for that big temperature change between the two of those days. And then we have our next system of precipitation coming on through. And again, that's likely going to come on Tuesday at this point. Again, with those bitter lows coming down into the 20s, going down into the lower 20s, feels like temperatures into the teens. It's going to be bitter cold on both of those days. Last point I want to stress out about the 7-day forecast. I'm actually, before I say my last point, I'm looking at YouTube. Again, you can live chat with us on YouTube. You have any comments, questions, things like that. I don't see anything as of right now, so I have nothing to answer to. But I want to stress out at least one final point with this forecast, especially with everything happening at the beginning of next week. Snow is possible. The Arctic cold air is likely, though, and I probably say definitely going to happen. So let me say that one more time in the opposite way. The Arctic cold air is definitely going to come back into the ArkLaTex. Definitely. As for the snow, that only has a chance of coming. So come time on Tuesday, the cold temperatures are going to be there. I'm expecting, yes, only highs into the lower 30s for Tuesday. I can be much more sure of temperatures. The question for Tuesday, and this has varied from model to model. The question on Tuesday surrounds, will there be enough moisture to provide that precipitation? That's what models are tossing and turning with. At this point, I'm honestly expecting snow, if anything, forms, actually, at this rate because of the consistency of us keeping those temperatures below freezing, actually, throughout the course of the day on Tuesday. But the question is, again, will the moisture be enough to provide the snow? That's the big question as of right now, and that's what models are tossing and turning with, moving on into early next week. Obviously, we'll keep you the first alert heading into the days ahead. We have two great segments for you heading into your Thursday and Friday episodes. Thank you very much again for watching First Alert with a Breakdown. That's a wrap up of this episode, but I just want to give you a quick little housekeeping notes before we go. We have great episodes coming. Sorry, I'm just looking over at the side at YouTube, making sure I didn't have any comments coming in. I don't, but I just wanted to stress one last thing here. First of all, coming up next at 11 o'clock, don't move anywhere. 11 o'clock, we got ArkLaTex Artistry in a matter of 5 minutes coming on our KSLA.com live stream. So that'll be cool. Brittany Hazelton, we'll have more on that in just a little bit. I don't know what she's talking about, but hey, I am a fan of the arts and music. Before we talk about that, let's preview First Alert with a Breakdown here for Thursday and Friday before we go. What you can watch? I have two great episodes heading into the next 2 days. Tomorrow, I will have on the National Weather Service. Guess what? I get another point of view about the weather upcoming for next week. We're also going to take a recap into last week's winter storm, see what we learned, see what we got, and get some of the nitty-gritty details on that. National Weather Service, again, coming here in person to interview on Thursday. For those of you who've been looking forward to a Met Chat this week, it is coming. It will air on Friday, the final day of this work week. We have a great topic coming up for you on that. You'll have to wait and see exactly what it is. As for me, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Evan Thompson. You have a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow, 10:30 on Thursday. The National Weather Service will be here with me, Chris Nuttall. Looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll see what to make of this cold and snowy weather coming into next week. We'll see what we can make with it. Getting closer to those days and closer to the cold Arctic frozen tundra air coming back into the ArkLaTex. Anyways, I'll see you again tomorrow, Thursday, 10:30. Be first alert, be first aware. You be square and be there tomorrow at 10:30. And most importantly, be weather aware, especially the potential of this snowfall coming in. We'll see. I will see you later tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy the warm air. Peace out.